What's up, you guys? Your girl Nia J, and we are back again with another episode of Dynasty Queens. Yes, I have my beautiful co-host.
Pamela, Nicole, what's up, guys?
Yes. Okay, Pam. So there's a lot going on in the media right now. Okay, where shall I begin, girl? First of all, in your opinion, Pam, what defines a cougar? By definition, what is a cougar?
A cougar, by definition, is, you can also call it a sugar mama. It's going to be an older woman who is either fooling around or funding a younger fella. So that will be a cougar.
Okay. So,
by definition.
By definition. Okay. So you said a sugar mama or an older lady. So yes. We know since the beginning of time that role reversal is a real thing, right? No one ever talks about the older man with the younger woman. Like, it's expected. Like, they say the man is supposed to be older, we mature at different, I guess, rates or whatnot. And for a woman to date a younger man, it is considered blasphemy. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel. Look, there's so much going on out there right now with, so-called older women dating younger athletes, rappers, artists. And it just makes you scratch your head and wonder, because the blogs will tell you one thing, but guess what? At the end of the day, we don't know these people's lives. Is this real love? Is this for publicity? Is this for the bag?
Interesting. Well, my personal opinion, you look at this generation of young bucks, like your 20-somethings, I would say in between like the ages of like 19 to, let's say, 35, right in that age gap, right? They're looking for a hand-me. So they're looking for, like, if they're swinging and they're doing what they need to do for old lady, she gonna like pay the bills. She gonna do whatever it is that they need done. It's almost like in a means of necessity for these young dudes, to me. You know what I mean?
Is it that? Because I feel that's one side of the spectrum, of course, but that's not every side of the spectrum. Because I will tell you, at this big old ripe age of 34, there are guys that are like 10 years or younger that are coming onto me hard and heavy. And I would never be able to bring myself to dating a younger man, because guess what? You don't have nothing that I need, okay? Besides some dang-a-lang, you have nothing that I require that I need. Mm-hmm. And the funny thing is, I've met young guys who say, oh, I have money, I drive an Audi, this and that. They do not understand. You have nothing that I need. I have some certain things that I'm looking for at 34. You know what I mean? So, no, thank you. So I think and that's why I'm saying, what defines a cougar? Because you have someone like me who is right at the cusp, okay, of that 35 range that you just mentioned, and what is that? Sometimes it's a fetish or a fantasy to, date or be with an older woman. I've had some of these young guys say, oh, I only date women in their 30s because they're the same headspace that I, so I'm not about to sit there and sugar mama up nobody. Like, what? No. Do you think when they're dating Bernice Burgos, they're looking at her as a sugar mama? The fuck? No. There's different spectrums here, okay?
Even though she got the bag, you know what I'm saying? It's I don't know, girl. It can go either way, because I feel like these younger guys, they target certain women. It's not like all cougars, you could be broke and be like in your 50s and 60s. That doesn't necessarily mean that you're a cougar. I feel like when I say the funding part, they know exactly what they're after. They know. It's just like the girls, they go after the sugar daddies. They know, they look and see what they're driving. They pay attention and look at the psychology of it all. And I really feel like men have adapted and taken on those female traits that, the younger women would do. And it's like, okay, if they can do it, we can do it. So let me watch this old lady and see what she got, got that Fidelity account. Let's see what she got. Oh, okay, she's shopping at Whole Foods. Okay, she got that nice Benz right there, that G-Wagon. Bet. So 9 times out of 10, she got some she got some coin. You know what I mean?
She got some coin. So of course
Mhm.
that's one side of it, right? You have a younger guy that may not have anything going for himself, but he wants the older woman. But I think what you're finding now in today's day and age is a lot of younger men in their mid 20s who want to date someone who's older. And for whatever reason, they find that, this person is, a better fit than a younger girl in their 20s. Sometimes maybe it's psychological. Maybe they grew up with, older parents or an older sister or around women. I don't know. But I do think there's different, sides to that. Now, I think a really cool example of what you're talking about on a regular person basis, not celebrity status. I've heard about, chunkier, heavier women in upstate New York who, take in guys when they get out fresh out the feds and they feed them and clothe them, and take care of these men. I've heard stories. So, of course, that is your prime example of, okay, this is true sugar mama behavior. This is true. What do you call female simping? This is true female simping. This is true. I need a partner. And, some of these guys look really good, but they have nothing going for themselves. And they're laying on people's couches and just, all of that good stuff. So that's one side of it. However, on the other side of things, we have, beautiful women who are probably in their early 40s or whatever, dating younger men. And the guy is like, I've got the prize. Do you remember when Nick Cannon, and now that I realize their age gap is not as wide as I thought it once was. It's like 8 or 10 years. He said, you were the girl of my dreams when I was a kid. I was watching TV. I saw you sing and I was like, man, I want her. So in his mind, he ended up with his fantasy.
He did. So I thought it's so funny. Just like he made it happen. Like, shit.
And so that's one part of it. We're looking at the older women, younger men. But now, aside from that, we have, some of these people that have been on known, reality television, on your popular VH1s and, so on and so forth, who have money of their own, maybe a little bit older than their partner, their love interest at the time, may have become pregnant. So can we say that a woman who has established herself in the industry and is getting pregnant by a younger, fresh off of, fresh from the hood athlete who may still be a little green to everything that's going on around them, who's like, man, I have all this access to women, and money, and I can get that wet anytime, right? Anytime, because I'm so and so. Do you think that some older women can entrap a younger man because they know that their mentality is not where it needs to be, so they're easy to trap?
Absolutely.
Or is it love? Tell me, friend. Tell me, best friend. How do you feel about that?
Girl, I feel like it could develop into love, but I feel like, you got to think about it. Like, let's just, for example, I know Dre is pregnant right now. Let's just give her just an example. And this is just my opinion on this, but you're coming up in age and you want to have another child, you want to fulfill a legacy. But at that age, it's like most of the men, and we'll look at it this way. Most of the men in that age range, you got erectile dysfunction, you got issues. You know what I'm saying? The older these men get, it can be a little difficult. So I feel like the mentality might be there for someone in that age range, but the stamina is not there. So they go where, they know they can, get some stuff in. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a security thing to ensure that she gets what she wants and he's getting what he wants on the same page. You know what I mean?
So what does he want is my question. What does he want?
I feel like I would even say like just the finances. If she's financially stable, we're talking about celebrity. She's already financially stable. Say he gets injured in a game and he's out. Yes, he signed a contract, but he's still not going to be making as much money as he was. But he's got a baby on the way with said celebrity. He's set. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying. I really do. However, I don't think in this situation, the people we're talking about, I don't think her money can equate to his at this point in time. He's like one of the top athletes out there. I don't even know if he's old enough to compute what you just said or even have that. I think that's my point. I don't know if he has that mental process. That would be great if he does. I think he's really like, man, I saw this girl on TV when I was 10 years old. I thought she was fine as hell. I'm bagging that shit right now and put a baby in her. I really think this is the mentality of men in that age group. I don't think anybody under 27, 28, and for guys that maybe girls a little bit younger, but for guys, I don't think anybody under that age group can process life how the way you just said it. I don't think they're thinking like that. They should, but they're not thinking like that. At that age, you are thinking with, you're thinking with, you know what I'm saying? You're thinking downstairs. You're not thinking like that. So that's why I'm coming back to this question. Are these women taking advantage of this underdeveloped mentality that these young guys have? Because Drea's thinking about all that. Oh, well, not to say, because, I'm just saying, anyone who's dating someone who is a little younger, female, because remember, this doesn't count for guys.
Gotcha.
This doesn't count. They can do whatever. Men can procreate. Robert De Niro and them are having babies at 100.
Not 100.
And people can, for real. One of them, which one? De Niro was 83. Yeah. He has like a 6-month-old, right? Mm-hmm. Like a 27-year-old. And the other one, who's Pacino, is 79 and also has like a 6-month-old with like a 34-year-old. So people may, they're old, but at the end of the day, guess what? Nobody cares because that's De Niro and Pacino. Very masculine Italian energy. Like, come on, guys. These are the godfathers and you know what I'm saying? Like, no one is going to be like, they're going to be respected. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Any guy that's dating a younger woman, it does not matter. The guy's going to be respected. Point blank, period. And the flip side, too. If a younger guy's dating an older woman, he's going to be respected, especially if she's good looking. Or even if she's not. Because if she's not good looking, they're assuming that she's a sugar mama. So regardless of how you flip it, the guy is in the advantage, right?
Yeah, he's going to win.
As far as the way that society views him, even women subconsciously have accepted that it's okay for guys, an older guy, to be with it, I got you. I kind of feel that's cool too. I don't have a problem with that, but that's just the way that it's kind of been embedded in our mental. Yeah, that's the way things. But the men, honey, isn't anything past, however many years on a woman's side, and she's older. If the woman is more than 5-6 years older, what? Oh, she's having a midlife crisis. Oh, she wants his money. It has to be a reason.
Right. I got you.
Is that a fair assessment? Is there always a reason?
That's not fair at all.
Could it not just be love?
I did want to challenge you on something what you were just saying.
Okay.
I have seen this with like kids nowadays. Parents that are in the midst of getting their kids drafted, getting their kids into like, whatever, NBA, NFL, whatever it may be, they're getting them mentally prepared for what's to come. You know what I'm saying? So I do think, I know what you're saying about the age range and them not having that mental. I do feel like not all, but there is a percentage of these kids out there. Mom and daddy schooled them. They know what it is. They know they're going in here with wet feet. They know exactly what the fuck to expect. You know what I mean? But not all, like I said, like it's a percentage.
Okay. Right. So then the ones who don't obviously end up with, having the one who just got old girl we're talking about pregnant, he has like 2 other kids and he's 22 years old.
Yeah.
I think everybody's main thing with him is that they said that her son is same age as him. So it's like, he can come up and play video games with old boy and then go back mama in the room, so I think that's the thing that people have a problem with. It's like, okay, well, she's dating younger. Now, mind you, Drea is bad to the bone, baby. Okay. Look about 15 years younger. Talk about it, Right. But what we're talking about here is not people's physicality. We're talking about they're creating a human life. And these are 2 people that aren't in very different places in their life. Drea has a grown child and a small kid, right? And now she's going to be having a baby. And then this boy is fresh, probably 2 years in the league, got babies all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what his trajectory is this time. I just know, knowing myself, regardless of how much I want the bag. I refuse to lay down and have a baby with a 22-year-old just because I don't have time to do with no immature baby daddy, period. That's where I'm at, though. But some women don't care. It's all about the money. My simple question is, in that situation, what do you think it is? And we don't know these people. So I don't.
You know, the psychology in me, girl, just from just that whole synopsis, it's a nurturing thing. You feel me? Like, it's a nurturing thing. It's like, I have my son. He's grown. I'm going through my nesting phase. Think about it. I'm going through my nesting. My son is out the house. He's gone. He's about to do his own thing. Even though you have a baby, you're pregnant, you already have a small child, there's something missing. You want to fill in that gap with that age range. So you are still nurturing a man, even though it's not your son. You still have that nurturing ability that you want to just continue with. That's what I think of in that situation.
You know what's funny? You say that, and we can actually apply that to women who are in a closer age gap to their male partner, even. A lot of the time, trauma from either being an empty nester or abandonment from a father or something like that will make women, want to have unhealthy entanglements or attachments to men. And I don't know if this is her case. We don't know what her case is, but that sounds like a very logical explanation. She might not even realize it's empty nester syndrome. But however, my thing is, empty nester, but you're fucking on this man. So that's the part where I guess people are like, it's the taboo. It's the taboo that a woman should know better. Like, if a woman is past a certain age, oh no, you have to like fit in this box and do this and that. So on one side of the token, I'm like, leave them people the hell alone, right? At the end of the day, we don't know their situation. However, you still have to wonder everybody involved's motives. Is his motive, man, that's the girl I wanted to back since I was 8, watching, sneaking watching VH1. Oh man, she's fine. Got my first boner off of her type of shit. Now I got a baby in her. That's in the Cannon concept. And he has definitely said that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's what I'm saying. The mentality. So my reasoning, and it's harder, this too, Pam, it's harder for attractive women because with men, you have to get them past that, physical attributes. Like, what else can you bring to the table? So perhaps he sees some real mama qualities in Drea that he sees with her, how she interacts with her other children. And he's like, okay, well, hey, we're here now. But I don't think the baby was planned, but I don't know.
Right. That's a whole different area. Like, we don't know.
Right, we don't know. What's up, you guys? Your girl, Leah J, back again with Dynasty Queens. I wanted to talk to you guys about Fashion Nova. Are y'all really ready to explore these hot summer Fashion Nova deals? I don't think y'all are ready. No. Y'all, let's get into these trendy, stylish jeans, these hot shoes, and fashionable purses. All you got to do for Fashion Nova is go to fashionnova.com, use the coupon code Dynasty Queens to get your fabulous deal at checkout. Tell them Nia J sent you. That's right. Fashion Nova, the official sponsor of Dynasty Queens. And then also we have, I love her to death. We have Miss Keisha Cole dating, Mr. Honcho, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's very big out here in Atlanta where I am. Love
he was 24, 25?
Something like that. Love everybody we're talking about, by the way. We're actually casting a music video of his. So, we love you, Honcho. So nothing, I'm just putting the facts out there. People are talking about their age gap too and the reasoning for them dating and stuff and this and that. So at the same time, if you were to sit on all the blog sites, right, and really just go through the ways that people comment about other people's lives all day long and casting their negativity on people all day long, you have to be a really strong person before you decide to step into the spotlight. Because guess what? There's a lot of weird people living ways we don't approve with that are everyday Joe Schmoes down the street, okay? We just don't know what they have going on because they're not put on a public platform. So you have to also wonder if people that constantly have the Twitter fingers, what's up with them? Because surely you're not perfect.
No.
Surely you're not perfect.
Our little keyboard warriors, as I like to call them. Mm-hmm.
Right. It's so funny. But at the same time, It's human nature to judge.
It
or
is.
make opinions about things.
This is true. Even
But
though they don't know.
You said what?
No, they don't know, you know. People are so quick to just give opinions and just lay it out anonymously. And that's just the world we live in now, unfortunately. People are too scared to just be upfront and open, like, hey, this is how I feel, you know? But again.
Right. Absolutely. But at the same time, sometimes it's okay to form an assessment. You know what I'm saying? Like stuff that we hear about, Harvey Weinstein or whatever, situations like that. Okay, I'm going to formulate my opinion because I know the facts and it's been proven in a court of law that this man is guilty, whatever they said he did. Younger women, all that stuff. Underage women, all that stuff.
Right.
And I just find it, and I'm gonna come back to, pregnant with the bag because I have a little story to say about that with something I remember from an episode of The Game. I'm gonna get back to that in a second. But I'm gonna deflect a little bit. It's sickening to me how many reports I've lately seen about teachers, elementary school teachers, hooking up with their 10, 15, 13-year-old students. I don't understand it, Pam. What is going on?
Girl, mental illness is so real. Like, that just brought me back to high school. And it's like, I never saw anything like that. At my high school, at least, we didn't have any scandal or anything like that. But the thing I have noticed, me having kids and stuff, these kids are maturing at a fast rate, looking like grown-ass men, and you're like a freshman in high school. You know what I'm saying? The facial hair, the body structure, everything is changing rapidly. And of course, that doesn't make it right. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like these teachers, it's an attachment thing. This is just my opinion. It's an attachment thing. You get close to a student. You become like, I don't know, like you just get into their lives and you get involved way more than you should. And then one thing leads to another and you're not in your right mind and they don't know what's going on. So they're going to let you do whatever until something comes up. And then you're the one going to jail because you didn't give them an A. You didn't pass them. You didn't do something, or y'all made some kind of like agreement and you didn't stand by your part of the agreement. And there's just so many different levels to that. It could be anything, Mia, but I really feel like a lot of these teachers that are in this predicament with students, it's definitely a mental thing. Like something either happened to them as a child. This is messed up to say. It doesn't matter how lonely you are. You just don't go there. There's dating sites. There's, you can do speed dating. You can do whatever. But I don't feel like some people that are in the right state of mind think about that. It's like a body. It's like someone's paying attention to me. Let's explore this. That's what I think.
I hear what you're saying. The latest case that I heard was, I think the teacher was 28 and the student was 10.
That's gross.
I know for a fact he doesn't even have body hair yet, let alone facial hair. The boy don't have any body hair yet. There are real monster molesters in both genders, male and female. So we have to be mindful of that, okay? I hear what you're saying about the high school. Like if it's a boy who's like 17, he may be, I don't know. Like, okay, I'm 24, a young teacher. He's 17, he's hot. Okay, that's a little more acceptable. Like, okay. But when we're talking a fully grown woman who's almost damn near 30 and a 10-year-old, what?
Gross.
Excuse me?
That's straight mental illness right there.
I'm not going to give them the validation of saying it's mental illness because if that's the case, okay, let's get R. Kelly out for mental illness. Okay, let's take Harvey Weinstein out for mental illness. Okay, every rapist and molester, they're mentally ill. Fuck no, I'm sorry.
I got you.
No. So I'm going to bring it back, okay?
Okay.
So what we've been talking about, really quickly before I get to the story about the episode of The Game, at what age can a man be deemed sexy? Do you ever see a really fine man who's maybe 21? You're like, and do you feel a little guilty? Like, okay, it's cute. What's wrong with me? Or what is the age where you're like, okay, why do I find this person attractive? What's your personal
Girl, that's a whole entire different scenario because that's a preference thing, honestly. Like that example that you gave, like looking at, if I were to look at an attractive 21-year-old kid, and I say kid because when I look at someone in the, like, early 20s, I see a kid. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, if I put that word in any kind of sentence, I cannot look at that person like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I would
facts.
say, in my personal opinion, for me, my preference would be my age and
Or
older.
older.
Like,
Absolutely.
an appropriate age range.
Right. For sure. Same. Absolutely. I think older, not old man, but older is where it's at for sure. That's my ideology. And if I see
Yeah.
a younger man is attractive, I'd be like, man, he's gonna be so fine in 10 years. Like that's how I feel. I'm like, oh, when his face fills out a little bit more, he grows, he's gonna be so fine. I could never bring myself. But hey, women are different. They don't mind, dating a guy who's more than 6 years younger is looked at as taboo. Unfortunately, that's not even a large age gap.
Right.
Now, if the woman looks good, you want, like, for example, no one ever talks, because it doesn't matter at this point, he's 34. No one talks about Jonathan Majors dating Megan Good, who's about 8 years older than him, because me and Jonathan Majors are the same age. But, I mean, he's a fully grown man. So at that point, it's neither here nor there. I think once you hit 30, after that point, it's kind of like, okay, you're kind of just dwindling through adulthood. Anything before a certain age, you haven't mentally matured, but they're fine. No one talks about that age difference because, first of all, she looks younger than him. That's the first thing. She looked damn good. And it's not that significant, to even mention when the man's already in his mid-30s. The reason I think people are putting so much emphasis on the ball player, Jalen and Drea, is because he's so young. He's early 20s,
Nice.
And 22 at that. And me at my age, and she's a little bit older than me, I couldn't even see that, let alone someone precious Keisha Cole's age dating. But hey, that's their thing. People get down how they get down. And at the end of the day, people are grown. As long as the man is over as 21 or over, it really is not our damn business, to be quite honest, unless there are ulterior motives, which brings me back to this. I don't know if you've ever seen this episode of The Game. Remember that show, The Game, with Tia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The show about the baller wives. Before baller wives, there was The Game. That's probably where they got the idea from, right? I used to love that show.
Same.
There was an episode of The Game, right? My girl Tay Heckard. You remember her?
Mm-hmm.
Tay Heckard from back in the day. She was in an episode where she had sex with Kelly Pickler's husband, Jason. Remember them? I think it was Jason. And she did the turkey baste. Or somebody on the show, was it Derwin? Somebody got turkey basted, meaning the girl took a turkey baster, y'all, and got the nut out of the condom and put it in her body to get pregnant. Those are extreme measures. Do you know what our boy Drake does, y'all? He puts hot sauce in the condoms. He kills the DNA. And if you hear the girl screaming, then you already know what's up.
Right. Like, what you doing? Why are you screaming?
Yes. So for women, it's that part of it, because that's malicious. And then for guys, if a woman is in an abusive relationship and she's trying to leave this guy and he comes back, regardless of age, and he comes back and he says, oh, baby, I love you. Promise this will never happen again. And while they're intimate, the very first time after a separation, he's like, I'm going to get you pregnant because I want you around. And then treats her like trash. But now he's trapped her. On the guy's side, that is malicious. So my reasoning behind the whole thing when it comes to that is, what is the intent? Is it money? Is it love? If it's really malicious, like what we just said, because on both sides of the spectrum, that is malicious behavior.
Period.
That is malicious. It should not be condoned. It's not cool. It's not cool to play with people. Regardless of what happened to you growing up and all this stuff, I don't care.
Right. You just don't do that. Like ethics, you just don't do that. Now, you were talking about malicious intent. And you made me think of a couple that we have not even discussed ever. And this age gap. This is a 40-year age gap, Nia.
Are we talking about my girl Cher?
You're talking about Miss Cher and Mr. AE. Now let's talk about that.
Okay,
Because
let's.
there's no pregnancies involved. Cher
No.
is way past that. She's 77 years old, y'all. And I think he's 37. He's the same age as, or he's a little younger than me. So immediately, you know where my mind goes. Immediately, she's up in age. We don't know how much longer she has. Mr. AE, I don't know what you're trying to do, sir. It looks like love to me. It looks good on paper. But I'm thinking beneficiary. I'm thinking long-term life insurance policy. I'm thinking like that. Because what can a 77-year-old woman do for a 37-year-old man? That's just where I'm coming from.
Girl,
what do you think?
Where should I begin on this one? Okay, so a couple of things. Now, this is the type of relationship where you definitely have to scratch your head more so than any of them other people. Because at least Keisha Cole and all them still look great, right? For their ages or whatever. Cher, she does too, but it's apparent that she's a woman well over 50, right? It's still apparent. No matter how good she looks, we know her, we know who she is, all that good stuff. Beneficiary, getting in the will, the life insurance, the estate. But honey, he will be in court with Chad Bono. I guarantee you that. Chad will put up a fight. I know that. Mm-hmm. Chad is the only child.
Yes.
Chad is the only child. So he has to be thinking, oh, he's ready. The same way that Anna Nicole's husband's folks did, and she didn't get a dime.
Yeah, because that son was on it. If you all watched the Netflix series, his son was on top of it. I think he was an attorney as well, so he knew the ins and outs of everything and made sure that you ain't none of this.
Yeah, none of it, right? So with Cher, though, at the same time, I don't feel bad for her because guess what? Cher has a shit ton of money. She's wealthy as hell. She has been an icon for decades. Well longer than I have even existed on this planet. And when my mom was probably in her infancy, right? Mm-hmm. So this woman is a legend. She deserves to get down at this old age, at this ripe golden age, with anyone she damn well pleases. Because guess what? She gonna be going out. I know he's laying a pipe on that lady good. Okay? Probably got her saying, believe in love. Like, all that stuff. Like, I was gonna say I would love to be a fly on the wall, but not for that long.
Just
maybe like 30 seconds, and then after the first moan and stuff, I'm like, okay, I see what's up. And just out of curiosity, like ought to be. But hey, right. At the same time, she's a very intelligent woman. I know that. And she's getting her groove on. I could not be mad at her. When they asked her why she doesn't date men her age, she said they're all dead. All the good ones are dead. All the ones she could have dated, because she used to like older men. She said all the older men are dead.
Of course.
Or incapacitated, or they can't get it up.
Mm-hmm. So what else? Would go down, would go lower in age. So I get it.
Right. They know what it is. When there's kind of a little age gap, you have to wonder, who's going to pass first and all that. But with this, we know it's no question. Unless a freak accident happens, there's no question. No question that she's going to pass first, right?
Right.
With that being said, she had an interview. I saw it on some blog like years ago. And she said, then this is Cher's opinion, you guys. She said, men are a necessity, not a requirement. She said, something to the effect, I don't need a man. They're just, like, I want you, sure. I would date someone or be with someone because I want to, not because I don't need them. They're just like a luxury was the word.
Okay.
Men are a luxury, not a necessity. That was the actual quote. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
Oh my. Well, girl, when you're older than 50, and you've got everything together, your life is set, I couldn't agree more with her. You doing bad all by yourself, Cher. You don't need that. It's
However, this interview was from 1996.
Oh, wow. Okay. Again, she got the bag. She independent. She don't need nothing. She requires nothing. I feel like once you get to that status of I don't need anything, I can take care of everything on my own. Everything else, like she said, is a luxury to have. I mean, you can't put it any other way.
Exactly. And I think the interviewer, like, she asked her, she's like, wow, so is this to like degrade men or like hate men? She was like, oh, absolutely not. She was like, I love men. Like, I absolutely adore men. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying at the end of the day, I don't need one to survive, to breathe, to exist. Like, any of that. She was like, they're like a dessert, a sweet luxury. So I think that's really, really cool, really dope how she was able to explain her love for the male species and her insignificantness for them in all one breath. It makes so much sense. And it's just giving bad bitch energy, like just queen vibes because
So she lost her Sonny passed.
yeah, right.
Do something completely different than what anybody, you know what I'm saying? Like it can be one thing to break up with somebody, be like, I can replace him if I want, if you want. To completely lose someone earthbound and to have that mentality of, you know what, I had this time, it was fleeting, I enjoyed my moments, but it wasn't a necessity. I think it puts you in a completely different headspace than what a normal like woman that just goes through, Tom, Dick, and Harry this month, that month, this year, that year. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit different. So when she says things like that, it's going to hit a little bit different in a more mature way. She's been through shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And even though they were divorced at the time of his death, I still get the idea that that was probably her soulmate. They probably had some, probably butt heads with some things or whatever. Could have been because they started having business ventures together, their show and everything they had. But the way he died too, and I was a kid when he died, but I remember he ran into a tree skiing, right? Something like that. It was really horrific, a really freak accident.
Yeah.
Type of situation. So you have to give a woman like that her grace. She was married for a long time. They had a whole kid together. That kid is over 50 by now. Their damn self, right? So with that being said, she's lived a whole life. And even I'm thinking even in 1996, Cher was about 53 years old. So at that point, and now she is entitled to date whoever she wants. You know what I'm saying? And if she's getting some BBC right now, some 37-year-old BBC in her last, hopefully 15 plus years, because she's only 77. She could live to be 97 or 90, 99 or 100. Her mother is still alive and I don't think her mother passed yet. Did her mother pass? If her mother passed, she would have been in her 90s.
Okay.
So Cher will have another 20 years or so with us.
Yes.
Hopefully, I love her.
Right. That's one end of the spectrum. But there was another celebrity that, going back to, we're talking about Dre and pregnancy, there's another celebrity that also is dabbling in the waters of the youth.
Who that?
Miss Joy. Because wasn't she with Future as well, like a couple years back?
You said who?
Joey Chavis.
Oh, yes. See, people don't really talk about that one too much, though. You know what? I think because she's not old enough to be his mom. I think it's like a 9 or 10 year age gap. So people really haven't really been focusing on that one, too. However, they're not focusing on the age gap, but they are focusing on how many very well-to-do baby. Well, I don't know about Bow Wow, but we at least know Future got the bag for real, right? Mm-hmm. And then this other one, too. But according to her, she's saying that Future does not take care of the kid. He doesn't pay any child support. He doesn't even really recognize the kid's existence. So I don't know. So once again, we could be judging and assuming, or maybe she thought that's what it was going to be, or maybe she really was in love with him and he played her the way he played all these other women. Because we can sit here all day, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate just because, I'm just gonna do that. We can sit here all day and say, oh yeah, of course she's gonna, but we don't know. There could have been a real, and they're like, why would you fall for this guy? He already has 8 kids. let me tell you, men have game, girl. Men have game. You know what I'm saying? And then once they get the women behind them closed doors and that bed, soul ties, all of that stuff is real. And
Yeah.
when someone is blinded by soul tie and good sex and good energy and fun and that what's that stage when you first start dating somebody, the honeymoon and all that stuff and all your adrenaline and all that good stuff and euphoric feelings and all of that chemistry, all of that stuff. Girl, you could know a guy is a piece of crap, but some women will still fall for the okie doke every time.
Mm-mm.
Why are we giving some of these women so much credit?
Girl, I don't know. It's that the psychologist in me just wants to know, like, what is it? Because it's like, I feel like a lot of women that go through the same scenario with different men, they're trying to find something in that man that's missing or that they're missing in their life that they had at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to say they had it, like they found the one or whatever, and something happened, XYZ. And they go and move on to the next one and try to find him and him, and then go to the next one and the next one and the next one. I've met people like that where they just try so hard to find just a glimpse, a little glimmer of that one person in any and everybody, not dealing with whatever traumas they have. And then they end up in a bigger pickle than they started.
Absolutely. So that's where, guys, we have to really look at all of the factors that come into play. Okay, when we're looking at people, like, for example, all these celebrity couples getting pregnant, we're looking at age gap, we're looking at race, because that's another thing. People will say, oh, he married a white woman, or that's another thing, that people have screamed that since, the beginning of time when it was legal for interracial marriage. Oh, there he is, running with that white woman, or, I don't know. It's so many things that people are so judgmental about when it comes to people they clearly do not know like that. Mm-hmm. And they're forecasting their unwarranted opinions because I'm sure these people don't give a flying fuck. Like, really, though. I would be so perturbed if people are over here judging situation I have going on and y'all don't know me. Oh, yeah. Like, put yourself in that. That has to feel like, especially if people are wrong, that has to feel so like for a little second, like, what? I wish I could just write all these people in one swoop, or they don't care at all. It's either one, there's no in between. Either you actually really do care or you don't care at all, or you just shouldn't look at it. But I will tell you one thing. People that comment on everybody's relationship and everybody's situation, a lot of times they're not happy. And I guarantee you, all their homes are not perfect. And I guarantee you some of these people have more than one baby daddy or whatever, and people... it's funny. I saw a post of Mariah Carey, and I think she's absolutely amazing and beautiful and looks graceful at the age that she's at, and she's still a diva. She had like an evening gown she was performing, but it was above the knee. It was very sexy. And there was some very judgmental people, and one lady posted a picture of Miss Piggy when she's performing with Kermit, and and then I clicked on this one profile, girl. If Ancient Mama had a twin. Come on now. What? How are you going to say anything about Miss Mariah? That's what I'm saying. So people perpetuating their own insecurities on people because you have a platform. Let me talk shit about you because I hate myself. So people, you have to realize that when you're in a public space and you see some of these people's commenting so hateful, because we can formulate our own opinions, but it's pretty respectful to kind of not be so disrespectful. Some of these blog sites and stuff, these people are going in on folks they do not know so bad.
Oh,
so bad. Just ripping it. Like, can you imagine Mariah reading that? Like, the comments were so negative. Like, every last comment was just so negative. Like, oh, when did she become a pig? Oh, she can't see anymore. Oh, she lost it. Oh, she's too old. Oh, that dress is 2 sizes too small. It was just like,
why don't you put the dress on? See how you look, Let's see what you look like.
Exactly. Right. And it's just another thing. It's like all these people that want to have all these opinions about folks. It's like, take a look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, take a look at the man in the mirror, like Michael Jackson said. He couldn't have said it any clearer. I feel people that truly love and respect themselves, they won't have such negative opinions about others unless it is actually affecting them in their life. At the end of the day, I really don't care. It's entertaining, But at the end of the day, I'm going to turn that phone off or whatever and get back to my real life. Because I have way larger fish to fry.
That's the thing, the perception of reality versus, I call it like internet reality. Like people live in that little bubble and think that that's what real life is. I'm just like, no, that's not how it is. I wanted to ask you a question. So of the 4 couples that we did talk about, so we had Drea, we had Keisha Cole, we had Joy, and then we had Cher. Out of those 4, how many do you think, in your personal opinion, are for love? And how many do you feel, in your opinion, are for the bag?
Girl, don't get me started. I don't know. I'm just really skeptical about that Cher situation for sure. I'm very skeptical about that one. Like above all of it, I'm so skeptical on his part, not on her part, because we know what she's in it for. A good time, literally a good time, not a long time. Hello. For him, same thing. A good time. Hey, look, we're going shopping today, baby. We're taking a helicopter, a private jet to Paris. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. A good time, not a long time. Is he going to get in the wheel? So I definitely think out of all the relationships, that one is pretty, it's not clear cut. Like, come on, dude. And she probably have his little girlfriends too. Like she's probably is very lenient. Like, okay, we know you got to dust the cobwebs off this good, but go get that young juicy fruit over there. It's okay. Are they maybe having threesomes? I don't know. Look, I heard she was down. Okay. I was not surprised.
Like that fly on the wall share. Like, can I watch? Like,
okay.
50
Shades of Cher. 50 Shades of Cher. Girl. Well, I really enjoy talking about this topic because it's something that needs to be addressed. It's a lot of, things like, is it okay for us to be as intrusive as we are in these people's lives? At the same time, if it's malicious intent, that was my thing. If it's malicious, I'm going to be judgmental. If I can clearly see that it's malicious, I'm going to judge every time. If I don't have any proof of that, live your life. Pam, go ahead and close us out because Mike, drop the mic, okay?
Oh man, y'all, let us know what y'all think in the comments. Like, what is your opinion on our 4 couples that we did talk about? If you think of any other celebrities, let us know in the comments. Of course, don't forget to subscribe as well to Dynasty Queens TV and keep up with all the latest updates. Well, in closing, I am Pamela Nicole, and I've got my beautiful best friend,
Nia J.
And this is another episode of Dynasty Queens. See y'all next time.